OK，这也是 So before we begin our talk today, I must pass on two messages. The first message is for those that received new instruction 12 hours ago regarding their healing practice. And I must reiterate to you, as I followed your mind, and I wish for you to be clear, that the new practice is one of slow development. It is a slow boil, not a quick birth. And you must spend the time on the new practice. Do not be in a rush, and do not go ahead when it is false. Follow the initial practice, which will show signs within around a month. And stick with this practice. The true delivery of the final result, or the beginning of the final result, maybe up to a couple, maybe even 3 years away. We intend it to be a lot quicker than that. The speed of that final delivery will be dependent upon you taking the time and doing the foundational work slowly and effectively. And then the next stage will happen at the right time. The quicker you rush, the longer it will take. Be slow and deliberate, and the effectiveness will change. The giving to you of this new style of work is deliberate, because this will be introduced to others at a later date. And the second message I must pass on to Malada. Now, in times gone by, we have mentioned to you that you will have the opportunity to be the leader and one that walks the path and guides others. Now, this is in contradiction to what you may feel is the block that you have, that you must get past. You've been told or suggested to before that your work must take a step. Consider this the second push, nudge, encouragement. A third encouragement, if it is required, will be a little more intense in its words. You either repeat the past or you create the future. You are sufficiently supported, physically and non-physically, in the application of your work and your effort. The time is coming. You must begin your steps towards that beginning. What's your tendency to repeat the past rather than to step into the future with your, may I call it, your mental aberrations, your thoughts? This is what you want. This is what's given. Do you wish to step into it or not? Again, if there is to be a third encouragement, the words will be stronger. God bless you.
Thank you.
Perhaps we can go to the healing list now, please, Brandon.
Yes, okay. Teresa, Ariel, Kathleen, Ed, Isaac, Sophie, Megan Cohen, Pia, Katz, Craig, Amanda, Devin, Jerry, Graham and Wendy Beck, Tony and Teresa, Cynthia, Patricia, Yvonne, Maddie, Chantel, Rose Frazier, Howard, Teresa, Mike Eskins, Samantha, Liz, and Carolyn, Diane Smith, Keyshawn, Tracy, Eric, Stephen and Matthew, Marianne and Jody, Jill and Katie, Mitch and the Di Lorenzo family, Stephanie and Wilson, Chantel and Daniel, Kate Dolan, and Will Moody. Thank you.
So next week will be our final week before a break. So if you wish, you may bring with you questions that you wish to ask. They may be related to our topic or on any other matter as you see fit. Let us continue. As you walk your spiritual path and you begin your process of letting go of the exterior world, there are times that the people close to you no longer seem to fit within your energy. And quite often we get people coming for words that, in essence, is saying their partner is not on the same path. They are not growing like I am growing. They have different interests. But when I look at it in truth, that it is my interests which have changed. I am not satisfied with my old path. And I wish to continue to grow. I want to explore spiritually. I want to explore myself. I want to explore my relationship with my own inner truth. I want to be the expression of that truth. I want to let that truth out into the world for others to understand, for them to grow, for them to learn, for those to know that they are supported and helped. I wish to help others to cleanse their world, to clear their mind, to open their heart. I wish to be of service to spirit. Yet my partner is not growing with me. The stress of this is meaning that I feel inhibited. I wish to step on my path, but feel like it is always in front of me, and never am I truly walking. My partner says they are supportive, yet they give little interest. I can see that they are also connected to spirit, but they do not see or feel. They follow other needs, the needs of the world and the needs of the body, but not the needs of their spiritual self. The opening that I have undertaken, they refuse to walk into. They may give lip service, but no action. They say they are supportive, yet they are not so interested. They want the best for me, yet they turn away when we talk on the topics that is important. My soul aches to be supported on that path, to walk the path with another, that it will evolve spiritually as well. They need not follow a path of healing or any other modality. Yet I see it in them. They need not walk that path, yet I wish them to walk with me. I see the light and walk towards it, but they are held by their own darkness. They say they want to walk up the mountain, yet they are more interested in the river that flows at the bottom. What am I to do? Where should I go? How should I evolve? Is it time I find another? As you begin your spiritual path and walk, the support of another is quite important. And the support, of course, may not be one of undertaking the same work and exercises, but rather one who understands and is willing to encourage and help and be interested rather than necessarily doing any work themselves. It's important for that they allow and accept and encourage rather than become disinterested and hold you back. You want their freedom, yet they seem to hold you by their lack of freedom themselves. And to begin with on your journey, there is the temptation to look away, to either follow the path on your own, or even to seek solace elsewhere on your spiritual journey. Seek that support, that encouragement, that guidance, that one who understands. And the growth is, of course, away from your old life, your physical requirements, into the desires to be of expression. And then this path becomes rather lonely. Wanting to honor the love that you feel for your partner, but also wanting to honor the love that you feel for spirit. And you walk a fine line. And it appears others do not totally understand. And maybe you are the only one to have walked this fine line between your past life and what you hope to be your future life. The vast majority of people do not leave their path. The vast majority understand and may be held back a little by them. Of course, it may be just as easily children and circumstance rather than an emotional part. And they say, well, it is for the love of another that I will love them and honor my part, but not turn away from them. And they hear their words of their part, their friends. And when they hear those words of advice or instruction, they hear what is behind those words. They hear the pain and the restriction of that friend or partner. And they begin to understand that some action, some words, has been a result of their upbringing or their lack of clarity. And at times they think, well, maybe I can heal that. They begin to talk to their partner, encouraging conversation and exploration of what is holding their partner still or captive to their past. With the attempt of cutting loose the cords of the past so the partner may see the light of the future and see choices and opportunities. One appears to be held and one appears to be free. Yet the one who is free is held by the one that is held. So they are not truly free. But the aspirant's heart is open. And the aspirant has love rushing through their heart. And that love is cleansing of one, and yet given to another in the hope that it cleanses them as well. So soon the aspirant then finds obstacles and blocks in themselves that they must work past. And if they look sufficiently, they will see that their partner is either expressing the same block to them or is showing the answer that they must follow. The world is still reflecting back to the aspirant how they will or must evolve and to step away from their own limitations of their own past. The pain they see in another is still reflecting back to them of their own journey they must undertake. And you who walk that spiritual path, at times it feels like you are held by an elastic band that pulls you forever backwards as you step forward. So you must work with the release of your own situation. So this time of isolation, of your own spiritual unfoldment that others may not understand, is like floating on the ocean in a boat made for one. with a little light on the top of your mast. And as you float and drift along, during the darkest time, you see other lights on other masts, on other boats. But others are also working their path and their journey. So as you drift, it is important that you build your boat. You build it with safety, security, and self-esteem. And the stronger your self-esteem and feeling of security, the more of the ocean you will be able to face. Until that boat, once made of just twigs and sticks, becomes ocean ready. And the strength of that boat is now beyond doubt. But what is the point of a boat on the ocean until it raises its sail? It is the raising of the sail on the boat which allows the wind of spirit to blow into it, for you to be taken on the journey that you must follow. And that sail is built upon the desire for exploration, the expression of love, and a feeling of purpose. And even though you say that you would raise your sail of love and purpose, if you have not built your boat, then you will never reach the final shore. So your work must be inwards. And it must be of construction of your mental, emotional self. So that when you are adrift on the ocean with your little light, then you look at this journey either with excitement or trepidation if you have not built your self-esteem. So the work you do on yourself and through yourself means your sail of purpose and undertake its journey. And if it is insufficient, the boat will be damaged. And if that boat was to sail rather than drift, then you discover a meaningful life. But if you have done insufficient work, yet somehow managed to lift your sail without discovering your purpose and your mission, your life will end in being meaningless. Never finding purpose and goal, and never finding the other shore that you seek. So the work begins with building a boat. The boat of your own inner nature. It feels like it is a boat made for one. Yet it is done with the construction of understanding others. And finally, understanding yourself. The sturdier the boat, the further you will travel. So the symbology here is the construction of your inner self. The mast is symbolic of being alone, yet pointing in a direction, of waiting. And the sail is the one that is not defensive any longer and is requesting growth rather than being defensive of their lack of self-esteem. And then the wind of spirit blows. And the journey through life becomes one of exploration and adventure, with not holding to one shore, but willing to drift as spirit blow you on your journey. There are others within these groups that understand that they must have let go of their old self in order to become the true expression of their potential to come. So there was a story given to one particular lady, but to a group as a whole, and then repeated at another time, which I must repeat once more. Of the businessman who follows the expression of all things corporate, only to take a vacation and to not be corporate for 1 week and feel like then the man is on holiday. Yet he is taking a holiday from his false self to be with his true self. But then chooses to wear that false self after the end of his holiday. But if you can resist that false self, build your understanding of your true self, then the strength of your boat will begin the journey of being ocean ready. Now you could see this story played out in all modalities of expression of spirit. The ones that are in such a desire to be a true expression of that their boat is insufficiently built. Their understanding of themselves, their connection to their spirit, the connection to the love that is in their heart. That they attempt to sail with passion and begin to row and force their journey forward. only to crumble and their true expression never found. So often they sail their boat before their understanding has taken place, and they give up on their spiritual work. They may chase the circumstance, the final delivery of fame and fortune, if you wish, rather than allowing spirit to blow in their sails and take them where they must go. Like the man trying to build a house on the wrong mountain, the wrong house, rather than the expression of the temple of love within the heart of his desire. No wonder spirits block and hinder the journey, because they are not ready to travel. And yet they say they are being held back. You see, your relationships, your connections to others, is either one of restriction or one of construction. Restriction because you have not learned yet. Construction because you are building the boat of your self-esteem away from the negativity that you perceive. How can you face the journey of the ocean without a sturdy boat? It is a potential danger. But there are two parts to this boat that has not been mentioned. The keel underneath the boat, and the little flag and the little light that sits on top of the mast. The keel represents the birth, the coming into the world. And with it brings all the issues of life from the past lives. And again, if that keel is sufficiently strong and stable, it will help not to tip the boat over. But the little flag on top of the mast, which is easily missed until you become aware of it, flutters in the breeze. When you see a flag fluttering in the breeze, you think it's all about the flag. But in truth, the flag is an expression because of the wind that is blowing through or around the flag. Flag represents transcendence. The transcendence beyond. The knowledge that you are the wind. Spirit is the wind that blows the boat along the journey, is not hindered by the boat, yet it stays around and with the boat and is important for the trip that must be taken. Spirit will blow through the berth of the boat and then continue to blow when the boat has gone. So Spirit watch the life, encourage and support the life. Will go on to other boats in other lifetimes. So with sufficient understanding, the restrictions that you at times will feel with your partner, your family, your friend, is a signpost for you to construct your boat more securely. And then when the eyes are sufficiently open spiritually, then you see your partner in their truth. They are the mirror and not the block. They are the one that you require in their truth to show back to you what you must do for yourself. They reflect your pain, and you explain it in the issues that you face yourself. So your spiritual work is, in fact, made by three different aspects. The finding of freedom from your past, for you to build the strength of yourself. The discovering of spirit, represented by the mast. It gives a time of isolation, and you appear very singular, that no one truly understands. The isolation may make you withdraw from the world more often, and perhaps even wish the world would just go away. But if the first two stages are built correctly, and here you most often need the support of another, but as you then find the spiritual truth, you begin your spiritual expression. So you come free from the past. You isolate to describe, to discover more spiritual truth. And then you express or discover your purpose and live a life of meaning. not always knowing exactly where you are going, but knowing that you are guided by the wind of spirit. And then, as your death approaches, you feel like you have lived your life according to what must have needed to be done. And you pass, having sung the song of life, rather than leaving that song within your being. And then you discover your true spiritual self. The oceans of life are sometimes smooth, but often not. Sometimes easy and sometimes full of obstacles. Sometimes you must drift, and sometimes you must sail. So follow the three-step process. Cleanse yourself, discover spirit, express spirit. Each stage, particularly the first two, require the support and systems. But once you find that expression, the sail does not have to try hard. It just becomes open. No other effort is required. In fact, the harder the sail tries, the harder the sailing will be. So when you feel the rush of love flowing through your being, when you feel the connection of the tingles of spirit, when you feel that there is joy in the knowledge that is coming to you, prepare your boat, pack your boat, because one day you'll be asked to untie that boat. And you will have no choice but then the sailing to take place in ways that you may not ever think of, to lands which you do not know of. If you are unsure where you are on your journey, if you do not know if your boat is ready, if you do not know whether you are worthy even to sail, to raise your sail, to untie the boat, You must first look at yourself. How much are you willing to give up? Are you tempted by the first pot of gold, the comfortable bed, the adoration? Or are you willing to leave those behind? The sailing of the boat may, but often, if not frequently, if not nearly always, does not mean that you will leave your family, your friends, your partner, but you will be refused, held back by them. And you will sail your boat so that they may sail their boat when their time is ready. You may be your truthful expression of spirit, so they may then at their time be their truthful expression of spirit. You're not in control of when that is to occur for them, only when you are ready for it to occur for you. So there are many boats preparing to sail. There are many boats which are finely constructed, and those, of course, needing a little work. But when your boat is constructed, an experience is given to you. It is like giving a map to a sailor, saying head west. It's not much of a map, is it? But they know they must follow it. So what has held you back in your relationship before has been in one of construction of your boat, and now does not hold you back any longer. The experience that you have, you know you must follow. And your purpose needs to be discovered for you to understand. And then you head west. Never losing the sun. To build your relationship with spirit. Clean your temple. And your purpose arrives at the right time. God bless you all. bring your questions next week. I must ask you, Terry, please, can you underline, emphasize, state loudly the analogy of building a boat in your notes, so that the medium, when he reads your notes, will use that analogy in work to come.
I will state that loudly to him.
Thank you, my dear. God bless you. You do not know, my friend, the work you do in writing and passing those notes on. I thank you for that. God bless you all. There you go.
I'm definitely listening to that one again.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Very good. Very good.